My dear listeners, thank you for being there this very moment. Thank you for your listening ears. Thank you for your understanding about what is trending and what is happening. The marginalization and nepotism and tribalism and the untold hardship that have been melted on Biafrans in Nigeria. Thank you for being with me this very moment with the vital update to inform you that it is not that the Southeast politicians does not know the truth. They knows the truth, but they refuse to say it. Truth filled their hearts, but lie filled their mouths. And because they talks on their both side of mouth, you cannot get anything straight. Today, in an interview with Engineer Dave Umahi. Dave Umahi was one time governor of Ebonyi State. Today, in an interview with him by journalists, they asked him, what does the incarceration and the adoption of Nnamdi Kanu mean to him? And the additional state to be created in Southeast, making Southeast zone 6 geopolitical zone, because this is one of the perfect signs of marginalization of Southeastern people. So, and what has he to say concerning Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra agitation, such as if Nnamdi Kanu should be released now, will it solve the problem of Southeast? Will the Nnamdi Kanu's release solve the problem of Nigeria? You know that Nnamdi Kanu nominated Engineer Umahi as one of his witnesses to stand for him in the court. Now, listen carefully. So what is there now is what? What did Dave Umahi told the journalist? Listen carefully. Dave Umahi told the journalist that there are evil people everywhere in Nigeria. That there's no any part of Nigeria you will not get bad people, you will not get criminals, you will not get terrorists and bandits. But the issue about Ipob, indigenous people of Biafra, that is Umahi talking now, because they ask him, what does Ipob mean to him, and how they define it, and can it bring peace if Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Ipob, is released? That is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. Engineer Dave Umahi told the journalist in an interview that since bad people filled everywhere in Nigeria, so that Ipob is not a terrorist organization, and Ipob leader is not a terrorist. Market. Reason why he is saying this is that Ipob leaders and the people which are indigenous people of Biafra have come out to themselves and made themselves clear to the public and to Nigerians that Ipob is not a terrorist organization and they are not criminals. They are people who are fighting for a particular purpose, best known to them in their own heart. They have their own reason, which the federal government have to sit them down and discuss with them to know what is their problem and see how it can be solved. So, outrightly, Ipob is not a terrorist organization. The leader of Ipob is not a terrorist man. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. Then come to the problem that is scattered everywhere in Nigeria. Ipob is just but in a particular place in Nigeria called Southeast or Eastern region part of Nigeria. So you cannot use it to attribute to the criminals and bandits and terrorists that are perpetrating evil all over Nigeria. So as IPOB leaders have come out and declared publicly that they are not terrorist organization, they are fighting for their freedom. They are fighting for their right. Nigeria government supposed to find out what is their right they are fighting for and see how to address the issue. So now, as it stands, that is Umahi talking. If he should say that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will bring peace to the whole Nigeria, he may be blamed at the end because Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB as a whole, that is indigenous people of Biafra, are not the cause of the problems of Nigeria. Because that if you go to every other part of Nigeria, you will discover that there is much more problem than that one of Southeast. The Southeast IPOB members and leaders have a significant issue they are talking about, which is supposed to be listened to. That is not like terrorists that prepare themselves, vandalizing government properties, killing people with impunity, both Christians and Muslims. That one is something that if you have a sound mind, you can now discover that this is wickedness and a dastard act. It's a genocide that's supposed by the government to take swift action against them because they are not IPOB. And those in the process who have disguised themselves and call themselves IPOB members, IPOB leaders, some of them are criminals. Yes, because what IPOB stands for is for peace, not for violence. IPOB is fighting for their right. They are not killing people. They are not criminals. They are not bandits. They are not terrorists. They have what they are asking government to do for them. So for this reason, it will be a big mistake for you to tag IPOB a terrorist organization, because worldwide, United Nations wouldn't have given order from the first place to release the Ipob leader, Nnamdi Kanu, unconditionally and compensate him for infringing his human right if he were to be a terrorist organizer, or if Ipob as a whole were to be terrorist organization. The UN will not give order for Nnamdi Kanu to be released. And at the same time, the Supreme Court of Nigeria and the Federal High Court of Nigeria will not to give order to discharge Nnamdi Kanu and acquit him and compensate him for infringing his human right. This tells you that Ipob and Ipob leader are not terrorist organization, because their matter have been already judged by United Nations Human Rights Organization, and there's no any court in the world you will take the matter to, and you will be welcomed by supporting Nigeria government. Since they want him to speak, that he doesn't want to say anything to this matter from the beginning. But since now the same as Nnamdi Kanu appointed him or nominated him to come and stand for him as a witness, that he is saying what he knows is not what somebody put into his mouth. So if Ipob and Ipob leaders were to be terrorists, Kenya government will not support the release of Nnamdi Kanu, which Kenya government bore witness that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. It is very unfortunate that it has brought disgrace and shame to the whole face of Nigeria today. So that he doesn't have much to say. So those who are in disguise fighting for freedom as a member of Ipob or members of Ipob, some of them are criminals. Umahi repeated, Ipob is not a criminal